All right, so the number of attendees joining slowed down a little bit there. It's 302, not 802, 302. And so we will go ahead and get started this afternoon. Again, I am Micah Copeland. I am so honored and humbled to be the elementary principal here at North Carolina Cyber Academy Elementary School. We have such an amazing school, and we've made so many great improvements this year. So just a few housekeeping pieces as we go through and get started this afternoon. We have set it up, as I mentioned just a minute ago. We're in WebEx, which is a new tool for us. We are so excited about that we have this new video tool that will be here. It has some neat features that we can use and that we won't learn all in one day or use all in one day, but that our teachers and staff will be working with students and being able to layer in some quick polls and some other things. But we have made it to where the video pictures that you see are all of our staff members. You know, one of the things of who are they, where can I see them? They are here, so we have it set up to where the videos that you can see are those of staff members and attendees. Your video is not active in this format that we have for us tonight, for this afternoon. But in classroom time, the kids will be seeing each other. They'll be able to have their cameras on and be working. But again, we wanted you to have a chance to see the great people who are going to be supporting your child and making sure that they learn and grow each and every day. So we do have it also set up so that way we can get to your questions as they come up and kind of group them together and see maybe what might be covered later on in the presentation. Down at the bottom on your tools, there's an opportunity for Q&A. So you can just ask a question and then staff will answer that or try to pull those together. And then we will also be able to follow up if you have other questions too. So we will jump right on in. This is already being recorded, so we are ready to go and really get you going and have a wonderful launch and start to this school year. So we're going to start with our vision as a school, and this is for North Carolina Cyber Academy. Our vision is to be the premier virtual school empowering students to lead, serve, and soar. So that is our vision, and our mission is preparing students through personalized virtual learning for success in tomorrow's world. So we are already looking towards the future, creating and putting everything that we've done in this work this summer, this spring, the shifts and changes. I know when we're talking to 3-5, it's a little bit different than our K2 folks. They're brand new to us for so many of them. We have a lot of new families that we really want to welcome here, and a lot of families that are returning that we really want to take some time to just start going over some of the adjustments and changes that we've made and updates and enhancements, so that way all of our students will just continue to learn and grow, and really everything comes right back to our vision and mission. And these two statements here were worked on through our stakeholders, through surveys that families participated in, and I'm proud of the elementary representation on those, listening to focus groups with our board, with our senior leadership, and Mr. Hill, our superintendent, going through so many steps as this was refined, and also Dr. Posner and Ms. Bryant. So many people worked on this and working with families, students. We had upper grade students who were active and part of giving their feedback and their ideas and their vision for what they want their school to be like. And so much came back from that. I know Ms. Bryant came back and shared, she got some amazing kids, so many that all that they shared, and they got some great ideas in the fifth grade, fourth grade. And so we are excited to see, to help their leadership and nurture their leadership and see what they suggested and come to life, and work also with our middle school and high school along the way and really prepare them for success in tomorrow's world, ready to encounter anything and everything as we go. Our core values are opportunities for all, making sure everybody has access and opportunities to learn and grow, that willingness to grow. So we're all in the kind of stretch mode right now and being willing to grow. So many new things. One thing to just think about for all of us is, for us at elementary, we've shifted just about everything in a lot of ways, except for some of the people. And that is something that we are going to grow and learn and do this together. Not only the core, the standards and all the work, but how we learn and how we grow, being ready for life. And that is so critical. At the early grades, elementary school, what I love so much is that we get to make sure we get to lay that foundation for lifelong success and lifelong passions to come through, and that supportive environment. We are all learning and growing, not just this next couple of weeks as we get involved and immersed in these new systems. Staff have been in this summer and this spring as we learn through as we work in new learning environments, but also the commitment that our board has had and our senior leadership to really, and our teachers and you all as families too, to wanting and craving that environment that learns and grows and supports each other together. So we're excited about the supportive environment, but we are going to count on each other a lot as we learn these new systems, learn new ways that things are working and growing that together. So know that you have folks right there with you who are learning and growing alongside you with this too. So we are excited about this as we go. And again, I know a couple more people came in. We do have it set up to where you can use the Q&A feature that is down there. And all the pictures that you see, not only do a lot of them have the NCCA background to them, but everyone you see is an NCCA elementary staff member that is here with us too. And so, and we are learning new features and things as we go along the way with this. So thank you all so much with that, but wanted to make sure that you could see us as those times come up, because we know one of the big pieces of is who is that person, and I want to see their face. So here we are with things. So the next part as we get going is so many of you have already completed or are working on your parent orientation. That information has gone out a couple different times. We're using some new tools to get that to you, but that is also, please take the time to make sure that you complete the parent orientation. It is so critical. It walks through so much of what we just touched the surface on today and does a great job of that. And we are so excited that so many systems share now with elementary, middle, and high. There's some great commitments as a district to really focusing on how do we make the learning experience for all of our families be more unified and be more personalized. And this is great. You know, for those of you who've been around for a little while, elementary was always on, we were on Buzz and doing some things that were different than our middle school and high school. And now everybody is on Canvas, and it's just opened up so much for us all to learn and grow together. And it's just exciting. So here is our elementary team. So this is most of our team. We are so excited. We came together on Monday, and that was our first day back for staff, for our teaching staff and support staff. And they really came in. Most everybody is pictured here in this picture, but it's a great group of folks who jumped right on in and have been working all summer, getting to know the content, getting to know the curriculum, getting to know, hey, how do we get this to work for our students? So we are so excited. This team, and those of you who've been around for a little while, went from a team of like 8 and 9 to now we have a team of over 40 that is supporting just the elementary school, which is just awesome. And that really gets into some future slides that I will just kind of leave as a cliffhanger there for you all, but we'll get to that. So this is your administrative team. Again, I'm Micah Copeland, the elementary principal, and then we have Miss Pratt, our elementary assistant principal. Give her a second to say hey.
Good afternoon, everyone.
And so her little camera will show up over there for you all to be able to see. And then also Miss Jones is our instructional coach. And she is, I know she was there. It's kind of, I know as we've been jumping between different meetings, some of our that supportive environment with our audio and things, but she is a wonderful asset to our team, really focusing on how does this all come together and support our teachers as they work with your students and as support all of us as we work and make sure everything is going. So we're really happy to have her as part of our team, and again, just hit the ground running and is an expert in Canvas and so many other pieces as we go along the way, and just instruction and what great teaching and learning looks like, which is awesome. So this is exciting. So some of the big things that to look forward to this year that we are so excited that are already in place, that are ready for you all right, well, Monday, almost ready right now, but they are ready to go, is, as I said in one of those videos, I kind of feel like it's Thanksgiving. I've been smelling all these great things coming together, and it's all coming to the table right now. So we have smaller class sizes, and that commitment, as we think back to that picture of all of our staff, is that it's just such a great commitment and investment in teachers, an investment in the work that teachers have with students, and supporting you, the learning coaches, as you work with your child and making those individual personalized decisions for the children. So that is something that we really are excited about. Class sizes are smaller. 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade students are divided into sections. Each section will be following the same schedule throughout the day. They will follow their daily schedule, and it really is focused on making sure students have high quality learning experiences. And so getting to know each other, learning with each other, learning from each other, and learning together. So the live learning experiences that you had last year are going to be completely different this year in terms of students. As I talk about the core live learning Monday through Thursday, they will be working, and it won't be something different than what they're doing in their independent work. Their independent work and their coursework and their lab work are connected, and they are the same. And that is what we are really excited about. And listening to you all, and the staff came with this great curriculum that we have. This next little piece of the updated curriculum. As we transition to FlexPoint, we shared several times, what cool things, and we'll do just a quick preview of it, of seeing one of the slides. It's one of our first grade slides, but seeing some of the great things. There's awesome graphics, there's interactive components to it. There's just some wonderful things that are happening with us as we utilize and transition to FlexPoint. So we really are looking forward to that, and that learning management system, that change, that updated learning management system, moving from Buzz that was patched all together with a whole bunch of different things to where everything's going to launch through Canvas. So you don't have to have a whole bunch of different sign-ins or other things. Just about, and I'm going to say it, just everything should be going through our Canvas portal and that one-stop shop for where you are going to be able to learn and grow and launch from there. So we are excited about all that will happen as we get into and work with these updated curriculum and updated learning management system that we have for you all. We've updated our video conferencing. So one of the great things here is we're not going to use it today, but there's a ton of tools. I can turn over control of my computer to anybody in this room right now, is what our learning management, our new video conferencing allows us to do. Again, we're not going to start Monday morning at 8:45 with that. No, but that's going to be something that we're going to learn and grow with. It's going to be able to turn that over. A great thing too, sometimes we all struggle with the mute button and the unmute button. When the teachers are leading a class, we found this out on Tuesday when we were meeting as a staff, was when we have it set up a certain way, the host can unmute a student. So if they're struggling with something, they can just say, okay, I see you're talking, go ahead and start. And it doesn't have to be you're muted. All those types of things that we've all experienced so many times as we are in these virtual meetings. So there's so many powerful pieces to it, and it launches straight from Canvas. And that's another piece. And we'll talk through and show how this works in just a minute. And those of you who've completed the orientation, you're like, I know this already. And that is what's so exciting too. We'll have an updated schedule and live lessons. The schedule is just a set piece, because we know in order to learn, we have to have a routine. And that is so important. In order to stretch ourselves, there has to be a routine as we go. Or for Miss Smith to make it through her Ironman triathlon, she had to have a routine of training all the time with things. I just saw her move on my thing, and I get distracted easily. So, but it is that routine, and it's having that. So we have that schedule and live lessons. And again, those live lessons, it's not going to be doing something different. It's going to be doing what you're working on. And if you have that question of how do I set up these fractions so I can divide them, which is so often the question that comes up in math a lot of times for our fifth graders, you'll get to there. Teacher's going to be right there. And families, you don't have to worry, be like, that's different than what I did. Your teacher's right there to just be the one to guide you through it. You can sit over their shoulder too and listen in and be like, I got this. We got this together. And we are so excited too about the emphasis on social emotional learning. So you'll see all the classes start 8:45 every morning. And so you'll have the same class every morning at 8:45. And that is something we are super excited about, because that gives us time to build that classroom community and focus on the social emotional side of things with our kids. So teachers will use that time to get in there, get to know each other, work together, build off things, have some fun routines together as a class, and then it's time to work. And we have our work and our core time, which is exciting. But also we know, and the commitment of our leadership and our board is also on the social emotional learning of our students. And that's the one thing that families also really stress, of wanting those opportunities for students to get to know each other, to work through, and how do they learn and grow together. And so our counselors will be hosting weekly classes for sections of students on social emotional learning, going through how to learn and grow together, how to be a great citizen, how to also handle some challenges and setbacks and learn and grow together. So that is something that we're excited about, how to celebrate the fun things and accomplishment and set goals and process through everything and manage time, all those things. I can start listing a whole bunch, but we have a program that is committed to that, and our counselors having that time to work with students is something that we are also really excited about. Wow, there's a lot going on, and there is. But again, we are here to support you all and learn and grow together as we go through this. And what's going to be so neat is everything is tied together and everything connects and everything is here to build the success of your child. I've hit on this a lot, is that synchronous instruction. That's where it all ties together. Our former model emphasized asynchronous instruction with students kind of working on their own. One student may be over here, doing here, all these different things. What we see and what we've learned and what we've been able to put together and purchase and use a curriculum that is designed for that supports synchronous virtual instruction. So FlexPoint is designed, you'll see some things as you're in there, of Florida Virtual School. Is Florida, they've been doing it over 25 years, and they built their own program from teachers. They revise it after staff weren't part of it. After the staff training earlier this week was the 5th or 6th training they've had this summer, is the presenter, she's like, you got some of the feedback you all have been giving is the same feedback that we've received, and we're tweaking and personalizing it even more. They revise courses. Ms. Jones, our instructional facilitator, has pushed out revisions and things. So it is a dynamic curriculum that has been designed to be delivered virtually. And so we are so excited about it, but we have matches so much of that time to work together and then to build through the learning progression towards that independent mastery. And so again, what's happening in their live work for that day and class also connects to those assignments that they will see in Canvas. And many times will be the same thing. So they'll finish it, and as they finish it up, they participate in class. They're part of that discussion. They ask that question, how do I divide those fractions? They get that, they work on it, and they solve it. They've done their independent practice, show it to their teacher, hand it in right then, and they're ready for it. The next thing that's on their list, the next thing to do, the next learning opportunity that is there. That is true for all of our courses except for PE. PE is a course that we still have it set up asynchronously. We still know there are different ways that students might do some physical activities and needing different times and different things, different environments for that. So PE is still set up as an asynchronous course. And so that is something, but there's time in your schedule to work on that. There's time to work on that each week, but it's not one that has a live instruction component to that. There'll be some videos and other things to watch with that. But the other cool thing about it is it's a revised course too, a new course. It's building skills, so it may be like, hey, there's more direct skill support for our kids in their work with PE. So we're excited about that too, but I won't go too far into things. So that's our K2 schedule, which we were going to skip over. We just finished their open house a little bit ago, a couple minutes ago, actually, our 3-5 schedule. I know this one is hard to see. Maybe it depends on the size of your screen and how much you can zoom in with things, but it is something. What we have here is what I talked about before, is there are the 2 live instructional blocks in the morning. So students will have a core instruction with their homeroom teacher, either language arts or math, first thing in the morning, and then they'll go to the other course. And so if they started with math, then their next course, they started with math at 8:45, at 10:15, they're going to language arts. And the teachers are working closely together. It's all set up for them to have still some time and transition time between those classes. It's not that we're expecting them to sit in front of the screen from 8:45 to 11:30. There's different activities. There's going to be that time to say, hey, complete this, turn it in when you finish, or I'm right here for you if you need it. When you're done, keep on moving with other things. And then they have that block in the middle of the day for that social emotional learning time, for targeted instruction too, of maybe your student needs or it qualifies for a specialized learning plan or specialized plan or multilingual learner. Also that time for independent work and PE. So that time is all there. Also time to eat lunch. And then in the afternoon, they're coming back for shorter blocks of time. I just noticed one of those little times is a little off, but shorter blocks of time where they'll have science and social studies together with a teacher, either right after that lunch block or a little bit later in the afternoon, and being able to meet with the teacher. And again, the same group of students works together through the entire day. And so we really are excited about this setup that we have for our students. Your student will get their own schedule that says where to go. Teachers have that. They've turned them in. They look amazing. They look so much better than this one, but they will say which class you're supposed to be at what time, and where you're supposed to be, and what you're supposed to be doing with things. And again, we're going to get started Monday. If you don't get signed in right at 8:45, it takes a little bit. If WebEx just isn't cooperating a little bit, no worries. We're here to support you and help you. The teachers with their smaller class sizes, smaller sections of groups of students are going to be able to help support, and they are awesome. And we have great networks of support all the way along the way. So we have this set up, and that's Monday through Thursday. Friday is set up differently. It's that asynchronous work. And so there may be some assignments that wrap up on Friday. There's also a component that Ms. Pratt will touch on a little bit later called discussion-based assessments, maybe even some follow-up activities of like, hey, we're going to do an extension activity. Meet me at Friday. We're going to go to this cool field trip opportunity, this cool virtual learning opportunity here. And that's what Friday is set up for our students. So again, we have that generic student schedule. This is the generic student schedule there. So I know I have gone on with a lot of things. I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Bryant to talk about the engagement policy and some of the updates that we have with that as a district and the work there. But like I shared, this quote came across as I was working this week, and I was actually had one tab open. This popped up, and I was working on putting the finishing touches here, and I was like, I just got to drop that in because it speaks to what is so awesome about being an elementary learner or a learner all the way along the way is that the more you read, the more things you will know, the more that you learn, the more places you'll go. And so a lot of you know that is from Dr. Seuss, and that is just one. But a lot of times we catch that at the end of the year with that book. I know I've read it and had it read to me at different ceremonies and different things, but I really thought like, that's just perfectly timed because it really is. We're going to focus on learning to read and enjoy reading and learning together and using reading and literacy and to build up all the foundational skills that we have for our students and to learn so much, and then all the places they'll go and all the great things that they'll accomplish. But you got to be there, you got to be active, you got to be involved in order to go. So I will turn it over to Ms. Bryant to talk about engagement and our engagement policy. Do you want me to just go to the 3.5 one? Yes,
Yes,
that's why
sir.
we broke this apart. Oh, 3.12, sorry. That's why we did two different sessions. Our K2 they have different expectations because they're younger learners. They have different needs, but this is set for you in 3.5, 3.12.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. I just want to personally welcome all of our new families to NCCA and those who are returning. Um, I want to tell you that you have a phenomenal staff, as Mr. Copeland has told you guys. The teachers have been coming in over the summer. They have worked extremely hard this week to prepare, but they have been immersed in trainings and just to be ready for your students and to provide them with effective instruction and to be able to provide them with engaging instruction. So um, from the district, we are so proud of Mr. Copeland and Ms. Pratt and their team. And they're going to work hard, I guarantee, for your baby this year. As he has said, we have so many things going on in the district, some changes. And we just ask for grace and patience as we're trying to work out things to ensure that all of our students and families are ready to go on Monday. And that our staff is ready to go Monday too. So, talking to Miss Matthews before the meeting, she was saying, "Woo, this is a lot," and she's trying to learn. It's a learning phase. It's a learning phase for us all, and I hope that encourages you and helps you to know that we are all in this together. We're learning together. Um, but again, my name is Leslie Bryant. I work with student services and also community engagement at the district level. But so I'm going to share with you a new policy. It's the engagement and attendance policy. Um, and as Mr. Copeland discussed, this developed from just the input and the feedback that we receive from our students, our staff, our families, just about what they believe they need in order to meet the needs of the diverse needs of our NCCA community. And one thing was to provide additional live learning sessions, that one-on-one time with a qualified teacher. And so research will tell you the best method, the best tool is when a qualified teacher is providing that direct instruction for a child. And so this is what we've done this year by having increasing live learning sessions. So Mr. Copeland said live learning will take place Monday through Thursday, and then Friday will be asynchronous. And so this part is that each child will be assigned a tier based on their performance from last year, and then also their continual performance this upcoming year. And so I just want to go over these tiers with you. And for reference, this what you're seeing right now, this image, it can also be seen on our school website. And that way you can always refer to it, and it will also be posted in Canvas. So the engagement attendance policy, we have 3 tiers: full, moderate, and traditional. So our full flexibility, the criteria that you'll see on your left side, and then the description will be on your right. This is for our students that last year, when we look at their end of grade tests, or I'm sorry, end of grade, at the end of the year, what their grade was, they had an 80% or above in that content area. They were meeting assignment deadlines, and they also, when they took that EOG, they were proficient. And so those students, they are in a full flexibility tier. Now, let me remind you, families, that each content area has its own tier. So just because your child is full flex in, let's say, math, does not mean that they would be full flex in ELA or science, or however this is broken up in the elementary world, 3 to 5. So full flex, again, they have 80 or above at the end of the grade in that content area last year. They passed, they were proficient on their EOG. So they have the option of attending these live lessons. So doesn't, if they want to attend, they may like to see their teacher. They may like to see their classmates. It's an option. So they don't have to attend that live learning session. However, they are required to view all of those recorded sessions. And so we allow our students up to Sunday night or midnight Sunday to view those recorded class sessions in order to be counted in attendance for that week. And so a child who's in full flex, their attendance, if they come to class, the teachers are going to mark them, you're here. But if they choose a day they just want to watch the recording, teachers will be able to monitor that. And when they see that they've watched the recording for that day, they'll be marked for attendance. Okay, so that is full flex. For all of our students, if you are invited to a small group, whether it's tutoring or intervention, whether it's, your class wants to do a virtual field trip or has a guest speaker, if you're invited to any session, we expect and you're required to attend that. So again, full flex, you have that option to attend live learning sessions, but you do have to watch the recording. So moving along, we have our moderate flexibility. So this is kind of the midway point between full and traditional. So moderate, it just means that students last year, when we look at their end of grade, what their grade was at the end of last year, we look at that, and if it was between a 70 and 79%, and they also were proficient on their EOG at the end of the year, then they're in this moderate flexibility. And what does that mean? So that just means we're going to provide that more support, that more direct instruction, live learning from our qualified teachers. And so we are asking that students who are assigned the moderate flexibility that they attend. So we have 4 sessions a week. Granted, we don't have any vacation days or on holiday. They're going to attend. Half needs to be that live learning session. So if they want to come Monday and Tuesday, and then the other half, Wednesday and Thursday, they can watch the recorded videos. So again, it's split. 50% they can attend those live learning sessions, and 50% they're going to watch those recorded sessions, which they have until Sunday midnight to watch. And so students who are in this tier, if their grade in that course drops below 70, or if they need additional support, we're seeing that they're not on pace, or they need additional support to fill in some gaps and holes in the learning, then they will be required to attend all the live learning sessions. And so again, if they're invited to any session, they must attend. So that's moderate flexibility. We've got full live learning is an option. Moderate flexibility, you have to attend at least 50% of the live lessons, and then 50% watch the recorded videos. Traditional class structure is more about, if we think of a brick and mortar school, which is what we call the schools with the four walls, and they sit into a class. When they come into the classroom, their teacher records them as present. So they are, and these are students that they're when we looked at their end of their score, their grade at the end of last year, they had a 69% or below. They also were not proficient on the end of grade test. So in order to allow them the opportunity to experience success and to meet those grade level requirements, we believe that they need increased live instruction from our qualified teachers. So we are saying that students who are assigned this traditional class structure, they will have to attend all live learning sessions for the week. That is how they are counted for attendance. When they are in class, they are counted as present. If they're not there, parents, you will have to provide an excuse or document for why they're not there, just as you would in a brick and mortar school. So again, if they miss a class, they're absent, whether they're sick or they're at the doctor's office, we're saying that they need to watch that recorded class session just so that they can stay on pace. And so again, if they're invited to any sessions, they are required to attend. And so these are our 3 tiers for students in grades 3 through 12. Again, this will be it's on our school website. You can view this and look at this and to see which area you believe your child is in. I will say that each quarter, your school, your instructional teams will be looking at each student and seeing which tier is best for them to promote again that growth and developing within that course. And so this changes every 9 weeks, or it can change within every 9 weeks. After the first 9 weeks, though, we won't, as a criteria, we will not use the EOG as a criteria. So we'll select other things, turning in work, great performance on district level assessments, benchmarks, things like that. And so just know that. So those are our 3 tiers. When you get your students' parent handbook, which is the district handbook, which hopefully will be shared with you soon, it will provide additional information for you regarding this policy. And so if you can continue, Mr. Copeland, you may say, hey, how do I know what engagement tier my child is in? So within Canvas, we know that you guys are creating your accounts and you're pairing up with your child's account so you can see what they are seeing. When they start the Canvas course, the first thing that they will see is that they will see the student engagement module. And so quarter 1 student engagement module for each course, it is basically a question. It gives you what tier they're in, and then gives you the criteria and the expectations. And then it's just going to ask you one simple question. Do you know the tier? And there's only one answer. Yes, and you submit that. And so that is just verifying that you know which tier your child is in or your child knows the tier. If you forget throughout the quarter, it's going to be in Canvas again in your gradebook. So you can always check to see which tier your child is in. Can you continue, Mr. Copeland? And so I just want to say, if you have any questions, you can refer to the areas that I've told you. But my name is Leslie Bryant. Please feel free to email me. I'm here to support and serve you all. I hope you guys have a great start to your year. You will have, I believe, an amazing experience with this staff. And everyone have a great end of your day. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you very much, Ms. Bryant. And I know from the Q&A, we've been trying to catch up with a lot of those and group those into some themes and things that we were going to hit on a lot of those pieces. And one of those, how do we get into Canvas? And so I am going to turn it over to Ms. Jones, our instructional coach, to be able to walk through the process real quickly about how to log into Canvas. And again, going through that parent orientation is a great way to get more in depth, to go back through, and you will continue to have access to that parent orientation course throughout the year. It's not going to go away. So I will turn it over to Miss Jones.
Are you able to hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. Okay, logging into Canvas. So when you're logging into Canvas, there are 3 different ways that you can log in. The first way is going through myncca.instructure.com with your NCCA Google account credentials. Another way you can go through is log in through the link installed on your desktop. You will see the link appear on your desktop. After signing into Clever, you can also click on that link to access Canvas. Once you log into Canvas, you will click on Coursework and Modules. You will see the assignments from FlexPoint. You will click on that assignment. The first assignment is going to be a pretest, Module 1 pretest. On the right-hand side, you will see the little house button. That little house button will take you through your assignments as well. For your course, in order to log into Cisco WebEx, you will click on Cisco WebEx in Canvas. Then you will click the Recordings tab to show all of the recordings for any absences. Or if a student might want to go back and just look at the video again or the class again, then you will click on View Recording under Actions. Again, you will go through Cisco WebEx, and then you will have the upcoming. You will see your live lesson, live learning session right there. For the second one, oh, yes, live learning lessons right there. Number 3, you're going to locate the correct date and time, and then you're going to click Join. Once you join, you will be in the waiting room until your teacher gives you access into the class.
So thank you, Ms. Jones. I know from the Q&A, there are questions like, I can't see it yet. The Cisco WebEx isn't there. This loads in the student classes. And so some of the parent observer courses won't have that. But as a student is logged in, they'll be able to see this. Those of you who've returned to us, I know we had launching from Google Classroom, then going to Edgenuity, then going to all these other pieces and resources. Using Canvas, it's all going to be launched from there. So we are excited about, again, the updates to our learning management system of being able to get in and launch from there. When you click upcoming, when you click Cisco WebEx, every time I've clicked on it, the default is what's next. It tells you what do you need to be at next. The teachers have loaded this in and are in the process of continuing loading it in for all the students, all the live lessons are there. If they accidentally click on the wrong day, I think it still takes them back to the original one, but try to click on that next one. You don't have to hunt around and wait for the recording. And also, I know some feedback that I've received is I don't know what the recording's named as with things, and staff had to like rename them, repost them, and put them on different places. And as we simplified that, this is so much simpler. They're all going to be right here in recordings. And so that is just so awesome. And we're excited about that. There are a million features to both FlexPoint and WebEx. They each have a wealth of features, and we don't want to get overwhelmed by trying to do everything all at once. And again, it is just taking that one step at a time, getting in there. You're going to be working right there with your teacher along the way. And say, okay, hey, this is what you can do. Look at this cool feature here that we have. But if we went through what happens if you hit the print button, what happens when you hit this over here, all those other things, by the time it actually gets to our students and the learning that they have, it's going to be just a lot for them. So we want to take it one step at a time, one piece at a time. You'll be able to learn to navigate what happens as you navigate inside of FlexPoint. And the best thing about being there with your teachers and in those live classes is we're working alongside each other and we're working together. So it won't be, what do I see on this screen and all these other things of where are you, what module, and those types of things. Everybody's going to be able to be near each other and working with each other and in that range. You won't see an entire year or entire semester's worth of workload. It's just going to be, hey, this is what we're focusing on right now. And that is something that I'm super excited about, is this is what we're doing right now, because once we have right now mastered, we're ready to go on to the next step tomorrow. We're ready to go on to our next thing, but it might take, you might have thought it's going to take, 5 minutes to do something and it takes 20. We might have thought it's going to take 20 minutes and it takes 5. With the asynchronous model, kids would be all over the place. Now we're going to be together. Teachers are going to be able to modify assignments and say, again, that dividing fractions thing we thought was going to be challenging. This group's got it. They have such great foundational instruction from 4th grade. They're just running with it in 5th grade and they are ready to go. Teachers are going to be making those modifications to what they're doing and the assignments for students. And so it's going to be awesome and dynamic and gets back to that personalized learning focus that we have. So it really is exciting as we go through clicking on, again, it'll be right there loaded on the left-hand side. It's the bottom one is Cisco WebEx. It will be there for you, and then upcoming, and then join. And turn it over to Ms. Pratt for the next part to talk about the assessments and different assessments that we have set up for students this year.
Thank you. So this year we will be utilizing the iReady platform, and all students will take the iReady diagnostic, and that'll be done virtually. That will occur starting the window is August 15th, through the end of that week, which is the 22nd, I believe, that Friday. And that'll be for our 1st through 5th grade students, kindergarten students, for those who may have kindergarten students as well. That'll occur a little bit later on just to give them the opportunity to receive some formal instruction. But for our 3-5, that will be the window of the 15th of August. And so that'll be done during their live instruction class. The teacher will, let them know. They'll be placed in breakout rooms. And that's just to avoid having to schedule another time when they have to get online. They can just do it. They're able to kind of take it over several days if needed so that they are able to take their time. But we want to start getting our students in the habit of having more of an accurate testing environment, one that they can expect to experience when we have end of grade testing. So that'll be done virtually. Also, with our new curriculum that we'll be utilizing this year with FlexPoint, they have something included referred to as discussion-based assessments. And so those are opportunities for the teachers to just check for deeper understanding with their students when it comes to the various content. And so those will be something that students, they may be referred to as DBAs, but that just stands for discussion-based assessment. And it's just an opportunity for them to meet with their students to make sure they have a full understanding, a comprehensive understanding of that material that's being taught. I did see in the chat several people kind of have questions around the assessments and just want to make sure that they have understanding. So for 3rd grade students, all 3rd grade students will take the BOG, and that's a statewide assessment. That is done in person. So I'll kind of just repeat that just to make sure if you have a student who is entering into the 3rd grade this year, they will take their first formal statewide assessment, which is the BOG, and those occur in August. And you guys will receive some information in the coming days from our district level testing coordinator around the sites to kind of find out what site works best for you, the times, and any of that additional information. So that's for 3rd grade students, BOGs. All 3 through 5 students, so 3rd, 4th, and 5th, at the end of the year in May, take the end of grade assessment, and that is also done in person. That is a statewide assessment, and students have to take it in person. So there's no flexibility or there's nothing that we're able to change on our end with that. And then there are the check-ins, the North Carolina check-ins, which are also statewide. Those are benchmarks. Those are done virtually. Students will take those in class, and that gives teachers a good indicator as to where students are when it comes to assignments and material, not assignments, excuse me, to the content. It nicely aligns with the EOG. So when they're done and taken and in an appropriate testing environment, when students are not receiving additional support, it does give us a good indicator as to how our students will perform at the end of grade test. So it's important when they are doing those check-ins, while they are taking them at home, that they are receiving no support from siblings or any other individuals, because then it does skew the data and it doesn't give us an accurate idea as to where students are and what teachers need to reteach or recover. So we'll kind of just get into introducing some of our staff. So the individuals listed on this slide, they make up our EC department. So I know there were some questions in the chat around if your student has an IEP, if they're coming from a previous school, or who supports within that department. And that's the individuals on this slide. That's Ms. McKay, Ms. Retkin, Ms. Kennedy, Ms. Purvett, Mr. Banks, excuse me, who's joining us new this year. We have Christy Collins, who's our coordinator, and then Ms. Witter, who is the psychologist. So if you've previously been with us and your student has a IEP or receives any type of EC supports, speech, OT, or anything that falls under that umbrella, then you may have already worked with them. But if you're coming in new, you would hear from one of these individuals. They each have a caseload and they support and make up our EC department. On this screen, we have our instructional support as well as our student service team. So the first 4 names listed are our instructional support ladies. They also support MTSS, which is a statewide initiative, and it's something that we rolled out here at NCCA last school year. So we have Ms. Welker, who supports with ELA. She's our ELA interventionist, and she'll support 3-5 teachers in ELA. We have Ms. Talley, who will support 3-5 teachers with math. We have Ms. White, who is new, along with Ms. Talley. Ms. White will be our MTSS coordinator, so she will kind of support the entire initiative. And then we have Ms. Driver, who serves as an instructional aide, and she supports all of our teachers, so you may see her at some various points. The last 4 names listed, or the next, 4 names listed, are our student service team as well as our attendance team. And so we have Ms. Jones, who's our social worker. Her and Ms. Griffin support attendance 3-5. So I know in the chat there were some questions around if your student is absent, doctor's notes, and things of that nature. Who do they go to? You would send those to, you can send them to either Ms. Griffin, who's the school counselor and supports 3-5 students, or, and I'm sorry, I gave the wrong 2 clusters of names. Ms. Griffin is the 3-5 counselor, or Ms. Parker is our data manager. And those ladies support attendance 3-5. So I'll just repeat because I know I misspoke. Ms. Griffin is the 3-5 counselor, and then Ms. Parker is the data manager, and they support attendance 3-5. And then Ms. Jones, the social worker, and Ms. Harris, the K2 counselor. So if you have a K2 student as well, if there's any notes or absences planned or not, that documentation would go to those ladies. And then we have Mr. Will Miller joining us new this year, and he'll be supporting with PE. So we'll kind of jump to our 3 5 teachers. And as Mr. Copeland's doing that, I see someone put a message in about the first day of classes. So for us, the first day of school does start on Monday, and that is when the first day of classes will start as well. Jumping back to the slide, third grade, our third grade team consists of Miss Ward, Miss Matthews, who's joining us new, Miss McGowan, Mrs. Wilkie, and then Mr. Smith. And they're an awesome team. So if you have a student who is transitioning into third grade, if they were previously with us, they're going to do a great job with providing that smooth transition for them and getting them ready for their first round of statewide testing. Fourth grade, we have Mrs. Bucos, Mrs. Hall, Mrs. Dunham, Miss Moore, and then Mr. Benson. Also a great bunch of individuals. Miss Dunham and Miss Moore are joining us new this year, but both previously have teaching experience, and so we're excited for this team as well. And then last but not least is our fifth grade team, and that consists of Miss Jenny Davis, Miss Bricky, Miss Sakala, Miss Smith, and Miss Felicia Hill, who is also joining us new this year.
Thank you so much, Ms. Pratt. And we know you are excited to get to know your teachers and get to see them. And that will be the great thing that happens starting on Monday morning. I know just following the Q&As too is, when will I get a message? Some of it, there are so many situations. I was accepting students in this morning and then they are here now. I've seen them too, so it is something that as our systems all sync and records get transferred between schools and school systems, there can be sometimes like just making sure that all the pieces are in place for the communication. But you should be receiving a text. I sent it's comes by text. It's a message system that's called Kimvo. And so you should be receiving those. I sent one right before this meeting too. We will continue to send those out to students and families through the rest of this week. And then teachers have also started sending those out. Some teachers sent them out earlier on, just try to see how that system works. And then others were a little, want to kind of see and have somebody else work out some of the kinks with things too, or how does this work? But you'll get an invitation, you'll get that information. You'll be able to log in once the class is published in Canvas. Then all those links will go live. I know that is one of the things that I saw, like, oh, I don't see that part, or that's not there. These classes, they are still in it's in a shell. It's an unpublished state. So those will go live, and then you will be able to, it will look much like the examples. It will follow along with that way. And so that is something that is there. I'm going to share, again, kind of loop back around to, the exciting updates. These are opportunities for all. We know, as those of you who might have been with us for previous years, earlier grades and things, we know these are some shifts, and these really are great shifts for students. They're designed to make sure students are successful. They're designed to facilitate student success, designed to get them working closely with each other and their peers and teachers and everybody learning and enjoying that learning community, the opportunity to learn and grow together, to learn from each other, which is just so valuable as we think about creating and supporting students to lead in the future in tomorrow's world. That willingness to grow. So we have these great updates that are in place. A lot of pieces too. One of the things just noticing too, some folks are like, I don't see these things. Please make sure you restart your school computers. It might take several times. Updates have been being pushed out all through the summer. I know sometimes people just leave those things closed. They're off. They're not on the network. Please make sure that you load those. Just open them up a couple times. They said the updates should take just a couple minutes. But it's like anything with Windows, sometimes it can take a little bit longer depending upon all the updates that you need and what your network's like and all those different variables that are there. So please make sure you have those. You'll start to see the Canvas icon pop up on your desktop, the WebEx one that's right there, but we want you to go through Canvas and the WebEx connector. There are differences. So making sure, the reason why we want to make sure that students are logging in through the through the Canvas course into WebEx is because that WebEx education connector puts it right in and keeps them in Canvas, and it keeps them in with their course and their teacher. And so you might be in WebEx and like, I don't see a link. Go to Canvas and the Cisco WebEx Connect there, and then join from that part first. We're going to get that part down, and then there are some little variations that we will learn as we go with things too. But really want to make sure, again, we have the parent orientation. This site here that's on the right is our NCCA technology resources site. This is such a valuable tool. A lot of the questions of, what do I need to do? What are the steps? How do I see this? And what's happening here? If you are on this site, you can scroll down and it goes through, how do I generate that parent code? Walks through each step of generating the parent code. If you don't have your school Google account yet, if you are a new student, that is something that those keep getting provisioned. It's a process to go through. Those keep getting made each and every day. That team's working 25 hours a day. I know at least that much. They're always on and always working and catching up with things there. But it goes through the whole process here. If you forgot your password over the summer, those returning students, there's the option too. You don't have to wait for somebody at the school to reset it. It's connected back to the parent email accounts. And if any of those don't work, you can also work out to the also our tech support team and calling them. But you have to generate the parent code, the observer account. This goes through the steps of creating the observer account. Not all of our student accounts, like I said, the student courses haven't all published out yet. So you'll be able to go through the observer account to the students as those become live. But this takes you through the process of pairing with one child, additional children, also pairing through, and you can do this in each of the courses. But this setup here is also being able to get you going for the orientation and digging into that, and it goes through the steps of enrolling in the parent orientation. And that Canvas course, it looks similar, but there are some different pieces to that with it along the way. And so, yeah, everything will load on Monday. I'm trying to go through with it. So if Canvas is directing you to something else, then more than likely what has happened is that you may have logged into Canvas with a different account and it's still keeping that. So that would be something to either clear your cache, clear all the cookies, do all that kind of stuff, forget to save passwords and things, and then start again and making sure that you're following these steps through things. Another question that I've seen a couple times is about the supplies. We are so fortunate too that our school is publishing. We were in our training with FlexPoint, and they're like, it'd be great if you had document cameras. Like, we have the ability for that for our staff. So that's for our staff, but our students too, the commitment to making sure that students have materials and resources. So those are being shipped out by the enrollment team. They have a logistics team that also works with them. And so that is something that they are shipping out to families. They've done that in tiers as they go through the bulk. So their goal was they have workbooks for students that just cover the first 9 weeks. This is also new. We didn't want teachers looking to see what are we going to be doing in May? What are we going to be doing in December? We wanted them focused on getting us all started strong, learning as we go through stuff. We may see, hey, we printed a lot of things. We can do a lot of this digitally. We can do a lot of this while we're working together in class together. We don't need these hard copies, or maybe we need more and we want all these resources. So as staff get in and are working, they have that opportunity, and we're going to be continuing to learn and grow. So we'll get started with one group of materials or workbooks, and we'll be sending another one out later. The other cool thing that I had in my notes over here that I didn't mention in our earlier one is that our teachers are also arranged by regions. So we serve, as you all know, the entire state of North Carolina. And so we have teachers grouped together and students grouped together in regions, kind of an eastern region and a western regions of the state. And so that is really kind of cool. All those students will be in the same track, so in the same sections and follow similar schedules. So as there's a classmate in there, our state is a large state, so they're not necessarily right around the corner or anywhere close, but they're a lot closer than being in the mountains and being at the coast. So we're really excited about that and using that as a starting point to eventually facilitate more and more meetups along the way. So that is something that we are excited about. But the accounts are all, like I said, provisioning in different ways. The pairing codes, please go through these steps. And they will get through, and we will make sure, and keep reaching out. The teachers will be sending things. I know I got a couple folks were like, they thought I was a spam text. And so if you did hit stop on the message and look back at some, maybe a few of your spams, I sent one again today at 2. Or if you have a friend that's like, I haven't gotten anything, let them know, like, it is the school. We try to say hello. Sometimes the student's name. I got a couple of those back that said, well, I'm not so-and-so, but they're my sister. It's like, well, it's the same phone number, kind of thing, and stuff there. So it really is that we have those to go through with that. And so we really are excited about all that's set up, and it really is set up to make sure that students are successful. So we're looking forward to it, looking forward to continue to see great things. We will continue to get stuff out. I will probably also, I see just still some pieces. We will continue. I can get the newsletter here, and I think I can drop that in, so that way if you are on this chat, we can get you into the more newsletter that has a lot of what you'll need to see with things too. So if that's something, I have to publish it again. Sorry, I'll get that for you all. And then trying to go through, Miss Pratt, is there anything else that I'm need to mention?
Nope, I don't think so.
Trying to see through. I know some of those, like the specific information, like the contact information for different folks, and I see the attendance part. We'll be sending those out as they go. Here is, I will put this. So 8:45 on Monday morning is the first class. I will respond to one of those. Sorry. Trying to get this in here. I'll just, sorry. Send that here and then go. And so I'll put it in, I think, connected to one of them. But I can send that. But awesome stuff. We are so excited. We know it's new. Getting in there, teachers are sending out schedules to their groups. We didn't want to inundate and be like, well, how do I get into this, that, or the other? Start with the parent orientation. Start at the myncca.com website and those technology resources right here. And this will walk you through those steps, and then you will continue to go. And I saw a message just about calls. The staff are going to be working with students. The old model where it was like the one time you talk to a teacher was once a month. We're beyond that now. You're going to have access to them 4 days a week and multiple times. So that is what we are excited about with things. But again, we're looking forward to a great year. Thank you all so very, very much. And I will see you soon. Talk to you later. Thank you. Bye-bye.